Hi Michael, good afternoon. Emmanuel Lath, it's widely reported that Middlesbrough's agreed a deal with Atlanta. What's the latest, please?
There's been a lot of things widely reported, so over a period of time. Manu's came off injured obviously last week, so we were disappointed to lose him, and we're managing that really to see where he is, extent of his injury, assessing that, taking us into Monday really, so that's where we're at the moment.
So, in other words, he isn't necessarily leaving. You can assure the fans that he might be staying.
No, there's with any player there's a lot can happen. I could never guarantee anything with any player because we never know really in the grand scheme of things what's going to be thrown upon us. But certainly from my point of view at the moment, as it has been all the time, is what players we've got here. Let's prepare for the next game. Manu, as you've asked me about, he's been injured. Obviously, he came off injured, and we're trying to see where that looks like. And we'll manage the next few days. It's a transfer window. We understand what that means. There's two sides of the fence. We got good players that other clubs are looking at. We're looking at other players. That's how it is, you know. There's two sides to it. You just got to manage it and make the best of it.
But you can understand the concerns from a fan's point of view. They're reading that he's about to go, and they will be thinking this is a bit of a risk, isn't it, at this time of the season, with the window about to shut and with Middlesbrough being involved in a promotion battle.
Yeah, I totally get it, and supporters, you know, that's the intrigue around the transfer window and the joy of what happens, you know, what's possible come the end of the season. And I understand that, you know, the football side of it is the transfer window. There's things that can happen. You got to just be prepared for it. Try and be ahead of the game as much as you can for different scenarios. What's thrown upon us, what we're trying to do as well to benefit ourselves as much as possible and embrace it.
And you can confirm the club is still active in the transfer market, looking for potential new transfers.
Yeah, I don't think that's any surprise. I think every club in the land's doing the same thing, and at this point, even with a few days left, there's always something out there that might be of an opportunity, how big or small. It'd be criminal for us to not be looking to try and improve the group.
Tommy Conway, what's the latest, please, on him? How soon do you think he'll be back?
He's had a small part of training, Tommy, this week in and around the group. He's obviously been out for a period of time, so we need to be careful a little bit with him. But he's as I said, he's back with the group in a small way so far. So we'll assess it as the days go on.
There have already been some incomings. Morgan Whittaker linking up with his old mate at Plymouth, Finn Azaz. Finn, who has, according to the BBC, has created more chances in the Championship than any other player. Had a great partnership with Morgan. So you must be very excited to get those two back together here. Yeah,
definitely excited. I think, you know, we big fan of Morgan. That's obviously why we made such an effort to bring him here and what he can do, his attributes, what's to come, what more to come from him, how we can help him improve really. We feel like we've got good forward players. I think it's proven that the amount of chances and goals that we've created over the course of the season proves that. Good variety, good flexibility within the forward line who can play with each other in different positions, you know. So we feel that that's a strong part of our group really at the moment. Has training changed in any way in the last few days? I mean, given the uncertainties over Lath, new incomings, what's it like at training at the moment? What's the buzz around the place? Yeah, the buzz is good. I think you know, having Ryan and George and Morgan over the last few days or so back in around the group, and Tommy slightly, you know, training and having them back around the group. I think it naturally, you know, gives everyone a little boost and a bit of energy. And as I said, players are similar, you know, and in terms of the transfer window and what it means and what they're professional and they understand what it is and get on with it. So there's an excitement. There's a huge game on Monday night that we're all can't wait for and looking forward to, and the boys are fully prepared and got their eyes on that as well. Yeah, and it comes down to that, doesn't it? The excitement around Monday, a local derby, and what are your anticipations of the game? Yeah, I can't wait. I think it's a fantastic game to be part of. You know, I've got to play my part. Players have got to play their part. Supporters have got to play a massive part in the night in creating the atmosphere and the energy in the ground. I think it's the type of games you want to be involved in, and as well as obviously playing against our local rivals, if you like, in terms of league position and what we're trying to achieve, both clubs. I think it's set up for a really, really important game.
What did you learn from the reverse fixture at the Stadium of Light earlier in the season?
I thought we played particularly well for the most part. I thought we had some opportunities earlier on, and their goal came from a bit of an unlucky deflection from our side. But I thought I thought we played pretty well. We didn't end up creating enough chances second half as the game went on. They defended a lot, quite deep and around the box with a lot of numbers. They had a lead to hold on to, and they managed to do that. So we learnt a lot. We learnt a bit from them. We learnt a bit from us, and we'll try and take that into the game Monday.
Michael, thank you very much.
Hi Michael. Looking ahead to Monday, does it feel like it could be a real opportunity to build some momentum going into the rest of the season?
There's always the next opportunity, yeah, and it's that's the beauty of it. You know, I think we've had ups and downs. We've had ups and downs through the season. I think we've had ups and downs performances wise and results wise. Generally, performances have been pretty good, but there's always the next chance and next opportunity, and we're in a good position. You know, we hope to be in an even better position, but we're in a good position at this stage, and we need to thrive on that. You know, and we use that to see what's next, the next chapter in the season, and season goes through waves at times and goes through a bit of momentum swings, and every team, or most teams, do it. And it's proven over the years, and we need to swing that kind of wave back in our favour and have a really positive time.
And does the preparation or the messaging to the players change at all on the basis that it's a local derby, or is it essentially like any other match?
There's two sides to it. You know, you can't get away from the fact of the buzz and the sense of what it means and the extra kind of spice that comes to the game. I think in terms of the performance, there's obviously the fundamentals that we got to prepare normal and how we would for a game and what we want to try and get out of the game or put into the game. But there's no denying there's an extra energy and an extra kind of flavour that these games bring, and an excitement that we've got to bring, and we've got to play with that extra little bit of feeling and an extra little bit of excitement and bring out the best in us on Monday night.
And is there any focus as well on the significance in terms of the table? I mean, aside from the fact that they're local rivals, it's a great opportunity to kind of make up ground on a team who you're trying to chase down.
Yeah, there's definitely that's the facts. I think going into the game, I think it's more about what we need and what we feel we need to do in a good way. What do we prioritise to think that's going to give us the best chance of winning the game? I think you naturally feed off the emotion and the feeling. That's why the supporters are big part to play for us to feed off each other on Monday night, because I think we need to create that within the stadium for ourselves and yeah, the boys are looking forward. The big game, the big games and games with something else in it. You know, they're the ones that really bring out the best in you and test you. And that's where we've got to be. We've got to be at our best on Monday night.
And just going back to the last match, obviously I'm sure it was disappointing to lose kind of in the manner that you did relatively late on. What was your message to the players following that defeat?
Yeah, there's a lot of different messages. I think we could have helped ourselves a little bit. I thought we got ourselves in a good position in the game. I thought we started the game well. I thought we particularly second half, I thought we were good for a large chunk of it. Feeding off the disappointment and using the disappointment and taking it into this game, and using that as motivation is a big thing for us.
And given other results in the league last weekend, did it feel a bit of an opportunity missed, really?
No, I don't really get caught up with the other results. It doesn't really affect what we do, to be honest with you. I think there's no need for us to worry about that. It's all our eyes on us, what we can affect. That maybe the opposition that we're playing against, for sure, because we respect what they're going to bring to the game. But in terms of other results, it's not something that I really pay much attention to.
And on Morgan Whittaker, there's obviously a little bit said from the Plymouth manager about him not turning up on time for the last match. Do you pay any attention to that at all, or have any concerns around that?
No, I don't.
Brilliant. One last one from me. Are you Obviously you're active in the transfer window. Have you got particularly half an eye towards the fact that you might need to find a replacement last minute for Latte Lath, or is that not really coming into the equation?
No, I think within the transfer window, you know, we always try to have an idea of balance of the squad, what it looks like, numbers, where we're strong in numbers, where we're maybe a little bit light, what might happen. I think there's a whole things kind of as a whole that you kind of need to prepare for, and I've said it many times. Sometimes it's us being proactive and taking opportunities when we see them. Other times it's something that comes. Sometimes it's something we can preempt, you know, and we just got to be ready, and we got to have. And I've said it the same thing. I feel like I'm repeating what I say. I've said many times, but it's up to us to come out of January. It's going into February actually, but coming out of the transfer window in a strong position as a team and as a club, and we'll make the most of it.
Brilliant. Thanks very much, Michael.
Michael, compared to a lot of other clubs, you've had a busy transfer window in terms of incomings. Is that a sign of intent as to what you want to achieve from this season?
Yeah, I think this shows we're pushing and we want to keep improving. I think we're never really satisfied with. Well, we're certainly not satisfied quite at the moment where we are, and we want to keep pushing. But yeah, I'd take that for that. I think the boys in within the group, they're hungry for more. You know, they're pushing each other and they get frustrated or a little bit disappointed at times, and that's a good sign, because you know we expect more from each other, and we know it's in us to do that. So I'd certainly see that of eyes up really, and looking ahead of us to see how we can get better. Sometimes that's work on the pitch training, sometimes that's game to game, sometimes that's transfer windows and trying to improve the group and trying to improve the squad.
For a game like this, as we mentioned, there's regional pride at stake. You're from the North East, you understand that. Is there any onus though when it comes to the players on the likes of Hayden and Dale to sort of impart that information to the rest of the squad?
I understand what you say. I think I know for sure the boys get it. The boys get it. They know what these games mean for us within the football club, certainly for the supporters, and what it means to them, and how it affects their everyday lives in the weeks and the days leading up to the game, and certainly after the game. So we're well aware of that. The boys are well aware of that, and that's what adds to these type of games and make them special.
And just bridging on the previous question, after Preston you mentioned about shooting yourselves in the foot sort of thing. How do you respond from a coaching point of view to instances like that? Because it is an individual error, not a coaching thing, so it's not something obviously that's happened on the training ground.
No, but I think it's how it's the flow of how the goal came about. Maybe what led up to it. What can we do better as a team? You know, in terms of defensively, in terms of numbers of shots and things we're giving away. We're near the top of the league in terms of number of shots. I think it's a little bit on that conversion rate for the opposition's too high for us really, and that's something we spoke about and we need to do something about. But in terms of giving a lot away, we're not giving a lot away. I think we're about fourth, I think, in terms of shots against. So from a coaching point of view, we take that as a positive, but we've got to put that into the reality of results and goals, and that's the challenge that we kind of face, and we've spoke about it. We worked on it this week, and both sides of the game we want to keep getting better and improving, and yeah, we'll find a way.
Greg, just off the back of that, Michael, obviously, you know, mistakes happen. I know we've spoken about them in football. From a coaching perspective, obviously you've spoken there a bit about what you can do and how you can maybe help improve things, but to a certain extent, is there a kind of emphasis on the players taking responsibility as well and cutting those errors out? Yeah,
listen, the players have got a big responsibility, and when they score a goal, it's not me who gets the credit for it. It's the players that score a goal, and rightly so, you know. And it works both ways. We share that responsibility, you know, and I think it's very easy to jump on individual mistakes, but you rely on individuals making good decisions for sure. You know, we try and give that structure, and we try and have a plan that to stop goals and to score goals, and that's just part of it. And I think as a player, that's the beauty of it. That's what we try to give them, that freedom to make the right decisions without the ball in attacking ways, and we take that. And obviously defensively it's very similar, but there's certainly a plan and a structure and things that we expect to happen regardless. But you know, it's the human element as well, and when in the heat of the moment, how you deal with it, whether you're calm and you compose, whether you're aggressive, whether you're intense, whether you, all that, you know, becomes from the individual as well. So that's the beauty of the game.
You've spoken about Tommy being back in training. Is anybody else back or close to being back?
No, not really this week. Just Tommy, he's done a very small bit of training, but not much more than that.
So, you've talked a bit about Morgan Whittaker there. Obviously, you've got a good forward line, plenty of options there. How do you see Morgan kind of fitting in with that?
Yeah, he's flexible. Morgan, he can play wide, he can play inside the pitch. He's obviously got a fantastic left foot and scored a lot of important goals and goals that have decided games, and that's something that we're obviously excited to have within the team. I think it's in those games when they are tight and they need that little bit of something. He's certainly got that. So he's flexible. I think fitting in, he can play different positions and do different roles. So I think that's part of the attraction, really.
Yeah, and another player who's joined since we last spoke to you, Mark Travers. How delighted are you to get that one over the line? Yeah,
Trav settled in really well. I think it's obviously with Sol and Senny, the situations with both of them. It was something we needed to address and do something about, and so we're delighted to have. Tom's played and done well, and we've got Trav in now as well. So we're happy with the goalkeeper situation now.
Yeah, obviously he's got a great pedigree with what he's done in his career so far. What particularly attracted you there?
Yeah, he's a good goalkeeper. Yeah, and I think he's at the age where he's gained a lot of experience. You know, he's played some big games in the Premier League this season as well, and so he knows and he's ready. So yeah, he's a good goalkeeper. You know, and it was an opportunity that we had to take.
Yeah, this week the club have allowed Matt Clark to leave Derby. Can you just kind of speak about that situation and why you felt that was the right thing?
Yeah, it was the right thing. I think all round, Clark, he wanted to play games and wanted to look to play games, so we respected that. He's been fantastic since I've been here, and obviously when I first came through, or when I came here, he was come through his injury and his long spell on the sidelines, and since then he's not missed a day's training. Really, he's been fit. He's played a lot of games and done fantastically well for us, and his attitude and his professionalism have been fantastic. So. It was just one of those timings, and as kind of it fit everyone really, and Clark, he was keen to go and play, so we respected that.
Yeah, obviously the final days of the window you'll be assessing all areas of the pitch and all options, I imagine, but with Clark leaving, could centre back be somewhere you look to strengthen?
No, we'll be alright. Yeah.
Just finally then, there has been links to Anthony Dykesdale and Dan Barlasser. Could they be in similar situations where perhaps if the right offer came in, they could leave?
I think there's always that time of year. There's rumours about I don't particularly read them. Josie keeps me informed sometimes not when he forgets. But no, it's that time of year, you know. And it's not for me to comment on all different rumours. I think the squad we're largely happy with, trying to improve it. Again, I can sit here. There's going to be, as I've said earlier, there's going to be things that might come at us that we something new that we've got to deal with. We'll assess it as it goes for each individual player.
Just on Manu, Michael, you've talked a fair bit this month about finishing the window with the squad as strong or stronger. Are you confident that regardless of what happens with Manu in the next few days, that's going to be the case?
Our challenge is always to do that, is to move forward, and one of my answers there 3 or 4 questions ago was about that, you know, of sometimes it's players moving on to other things, whether it's on loan for a certain time in the development, sometimes it's to move on for different reasons, but as a club we always have to feel like we're moving forward, whether that's on the pitch performances or whether that's off the pitch building a squad or off the pitch in other ways, you know. So yeah, that's up to us to find a way of doing that.
And I guess for Manu as well, this hasn't caught you by surprise, has it? You know, I think it was inevitable that there was going to be interest this month after the summer. You've been able to prepare for any possibility of that happening?
We got good players in the group, and I said it. There's teams looking at our players, different players. There has been for some time since I've been here, and we've managed it well, and we'll continue to do that.
And just one last one on that. You lost Morgan Rogers this time last year, and you got better.
Right,
He's done all right for himself, yeah. But you did all right, didn't you, in the second half of last season? That was your best spell of games, which I guess is evidence, isn't it, of the cycle continues. And
yeah, there's a cycle in football. There's a cycle, and that cycle's getting kind of more extreme and faster as we go. Really, probably at every club, in the ups and downs, and what's kind of the instant instead of what's next. I get that. It goes back to what I said though. As our responsibility is to keep moving in the direction, and yeah, you might lose certain players at certain times, and that can't, that can't affect the cruise ship. Keep going in that direction. You've got to keep it moving forward and keep moving in the path that we want to move, and you got to take a hit now and again, or you might. That's part of it. We have done over the last since I've been here. We've had some really good players. Sometimes they've had to move on. We've got to keep moving in the right direction.
And Morgan last year, Manu now. There's obviously other players who've attracted interest. It shows you're onto something. It shows you're doing something right, clearly.
Yeah, if other clubs and people are talking about our players in a positive light, then for us it's bittersweet, and we'll continue to do that. From my point of view, it's just continue to work with the players that are here and to try and make the best of it, try to improve them individually, try to have a team that's improving all the time, playing good football. That we want to play winning football. That's always a challenge, won't change, but I'm excited by the group we've got. I think we've got some really good talent in the group. I think we've got a good balance within the squad, and really excited about what we can do at the end of the season.
And when you talk there about keeping, I can't remember how you put it exactly, but keeping moving forward and keeping everything stable despite what's going on. We've talked about this before, but how important with that is that everyone's on the same page behind the scenes?
Yeah, no, it's vital. It's vital that we are an understanding of the situation, what can be done at certain times, what's the limit, there's limits. Every football club's got limits and boundaries of what you can and can't do, and I think it's the realistic and acknowledge that between us, certainly at my level and above, which is what we do. So it works really well.
Riley and Johnny, how close, how far?
Johnny's still probably both of them a number of weeks really more over. Riley's back on the grass in a small way with his kind of his rehab, not training with us, but he's on his way back. But there'll be weeks, definitely more than days.
And what's the dynamic going to be like for you on Monday? Because it is quite unique, isn't it, to have a transfer window on the night of one of the biggest games of the season?
Yeah, in a way. It's my Monday. My focus is totally on. To be honest, a lot of it is at the moment is on the game. What do we need to do to prepare? What do the players need off me and the staff? Certainly by the game. I think there's no distractions from that game on Monday night. It's a fantastic game to be involved in, and we're all buzzing to be part of it and hopefully play well and win.
Brilliant. Thank you.
Michael, just looking ahead to Monday, the game. Some managers, obviously with all the new recruits that have come in, some managers are sometimes a bit cautious with throwing the new lads in, but it feels like the perfect stage, especially for someone like Whittaker, to go in and show it on terrestrial TV. There'll be a big audience watching. Perfect stage to throw someone in and can show not only the fans but everyone else, a big statement of what they can do. Yeah, is there a right or wrong really? I think it's just gauging of certainly who's available, who's fit, what's the team look like, where we think we can improve it. Of who goes into the team, who doesn't, that's just, it's certainly that type of game that the boys are all clambering and desperate to be involved with, and I don't think and I know it won't just be the starting 11 who will have an impact on the game. It's coming off the bench and doing it that way as well, so whoever that is, it might be a one later on in the game that makes a difference for us. And I know you, like most clubs, you look at it on a game by game basis, and I think you said just before Christmas you'd be daft to rule out the possibility of finishing in the top two, but realistically, is this a game you have to win to keep alive those chances of automatic promotion? Yeah, listen, automatic's a little bit further away, and that's pretty obvious. We all know that.
think we have to win it. You know, I think we definitely want to win it. We need to do everything we can to win it. It's an important game for many reasons, and we're aware of that. And the end of the season, I say it's going to take care of itself. But let's take this game for what it is and commit to it and give everything we can. It's a special game to be part of, you know, and let's take it for that. We've got another 9 days after that for another game, so we're all in for this one and looking forward to it.
And just last one from me, how relieved will you, hopefully after the win, when that deadline closes and you can just concentrate on working with the players that are still here and, you know, pushing towards hopefully promotion?
Yeah, part of this time of year, you got to accept it as well. You know, it's there's challenges with it, but there's challenges out of it as well. You know, and it's great, though, isn't it? You know, we're here, we're in a position to play for something. We're trying to achieve something. We've got a good group of players. We've got a good squad. We're capable of doing some good things. I'm really excited about what's ahead.